everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look that I'm wearing right here. I know it's super dark and it's super smoky, but it's kind of the technique, and you can do this with any colors that you have in your collection. Recently I did a photo shoot and they were asking for the models to have dark smoky eyes, so I wanted to share some of the photos with you guys, and I also wanted to share how I did those makeup looks. And this is a combination of both of them put together. One I did a nude lip and one I did a dark lip. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the photos on my blog. I will leave the link down below, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you guys would like to see next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone. So first I'm going to just be applying a lip balm. This is the Chorus lip balm. And next I'm going to be priming my eyes. I'm starting with my eyes first just because we are doing a dark smoky eye and working with a lot of dark shadows. And I'm using the Urban Decay Mattifying Potion Primer. Next I'm going to be starting with my eyes, and I'm using a Makeup Geek eyeshadow in the shade Peach Smoothie. And Peach Smoothie is my perfect transition shade. Beaches and Cream is a really great one as well. Then I'm going in with the next shade, and it is Creme Brulee, and that is also by Makeup Geek. And I'm just dusting that back and forth in my crease, and I'm pretty high in my crease, and this is going to help our blending experience along the way. So I'm using a Morphe M433 blending brush to just apply this in my crease area. Now I'm going in with a Morphe M441 blending brush and just really dusting that transition shade, making sure everything is nice and blended. Now I'm going in with the Ardency in Monster Eye Kohl, and this is so creamy and so blendable that I'm going to use this as a base for our eyeshadow. And you don't have to worry about putting it on super nice and neat. It could be on pretty sloppy. Just get it on there. You could use anything you have. Next, I'm going to be using Corrupt by Makeup Geek, and I'm using an Urban Decay flat synthetic brush to apply this. And using a synthetic brush will really help not soak up any of the product, and I wanted the black to be as dark as it could be. So I'm just applying that right over the eyeliner that we already have laid down, and I'm really packing it on there. When you're working with these really dark shades, you want to make sure that you do not pass your crease area. So you will notice when I'm blending out this black and applying this eyeshadow, I don't pass my crease. I go all the way up to my crease and I stop. And don't be afraid, because we will blend out that harsh line later, but you definitely don't want to pass your crease, because that's when you can start to look like a panda, or you can start to look like you got punched in the face, which we definitely don't want that. So now I'm going in with an Urban Decay. This is a pencil brush. Any pencil brush that you have will work. I really like this one because it's really skinny and long. And I'm mixing together Mocha by Makeup Geek and a little bit of the Corrupt Black, and I'm just really staying really low in my crease area and blending it back and forth in windshield wiper motions, and this will help blend all the harsh lines out. And really take your time with this. A lot of people would wipe it off at this point, but do not wipe it off. The hard work will pay off. Just keep blending and don't get frustrated. So now I'm taking more of that Mocha and a little bit more of that black and smoking it out and just blending it back and forth in windshield wiper motions. And you can use any shades. You can use a mixture of shades, and you might not even have to use more eyeshadow at that point. You can just use what you have on your lid and blend that out as well, and then grab another eyeshadow. But I'm just mixing them all together, blending it back and forth. And if you have fallout, that's okay. Now I'm going in with a Sigma E25 blending, and I grabbed this one because it's a little bit smaller than the Morphe M433. And I'm just taking more of the Mocha and some creme brulee. I'm mixing all of the shades together and just blending out that crease even more. And this is a goat hair brush, so it is going to soak up some of our product, but that's okay because that's going to help our blending experience along the way. So I'm still staying pretty low in the crease area, and you want to make sure you stop, take a look at yourself and see, okay, over here it needs a little bit more blended, over here it needs a little bit more blended, or you're good. Now I'm just taking any makeup wipe that you have, or if you have just like a makeup remover and a cotton pad, that will work too, and I'm just cleaning up my mess. Now I'm going to start with my face, and I'm priming the skin with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer. I love this primer. It gives a beautiful luminosity through the foundation, and I didn't want the skin to be too luminous, but I wanted it to look very fresh. Now I'm going in with the Tarte Amazonian Clay. I think it's a 12-hour foundation, and it's beautiful. On my skin, it wears very satin, not too matte, not too dewy, and I like to use a small amount of it. So I'm applying it with the Morphe M439 buffer brush, and I'm just taking small amounts because I don't want it to get caked on or too much product. So I'm just taking small amounts on the brush and really buffing it into my skin, making sure everything's covered, making sure we're applying it to our forehead and our hairline, and you also want to make sure that you get your neck as well. And take your time with your skin. You really want to press the product and use small amounts of product instead of going in with too much and then it's hard to get off. Starting with small amounts will ensure that you can build it versus having like, how do I get all of this foundation off my skin? I caked it on today. So small amounts is definitely the way to go, and this is for sure one of my favorite brushes to apply any foundation. It goes on so beautifully, not streaky, and it doesn't soak up too much of my product either. So I always go back with a little bit more foundation and touch up my T-zone area. That is where I have my most breakouts, where my foundation tends to separate during the day. So I always go back over that and just make sure it's on and covered. Next, I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral, and I'm really applying this underneath the eye area. I really want my face to be extremely highlighted. That will just bring more attention to our eyes, and I'm going to place this on my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. I love highlighting my Cupid's bow. It just brings more attention to the lip area, and I feel like I don't have very big lips, and I just really, really like when that's highlighted. If you don't highlight your Cupid's bow, try it, and I think you'll really, really like it. If you don't feel comfortable highlighting it with concealer, you can always take a highlighter, powder, or cream and do it that way. Now I'm just blending my concealer out with a damp beauty blender, and I like my beauty blender to be extremely damp to soak up any excess product that I might have. And I really, really press my concealer to make sure that I have no creasing underneath the eye area. I can tend to get a little bit creasing, so I really press back and forth. Pressing in different directions will kind of set it and ensure that it doesn't crease. So if you don't do that with your concealer, try pressing in different areas and different directions, and you'll notice a difference. Now I'm mixing together the MAC Pro Emphasize shaping powder, and I'm mixing the banana powder from the Anastasia contour palette, and I'm using an e.l.f. blush brush to really apply this underneath the eye area, and setting that will also ensure that no creasing will happen. Now I'm filling in my eyebrows with the Anastasia Brow Definer in the shade Chocolate, and I just fill in the outer tail following the shape of my brow and then kind of flick upward on the inner half. I don't want them to be too defined, but filling them in definitely brings more definition and makes a big difference. Then I go in with the spoolie and I make sure I really, really comb them out so they don't look choppy or weird. So make sure you definitely blend them out when you're doing your eyebrows. Next, I am going to be taking the same Ardency eyeliner and I'm placing it in my tight line and in my waterline. So if this is really hard for you, you can totally skip this step, but this just helps really give the eyes more definition by using all these different blacks and dark browns. Now I'm placing it into my waterline, and I make sure that I really get it on my lash line as well, because we are going to blend it out and make everything really open and pop. Now I'm taking a Sigma flat definer brush, and I'm taking the black eyeshadow by Makeup Geek called Corrupt, and I'm just placing this on my lash line as close to the eyeliner as possible and just smudging out the eyeliner with this. And this will make sure that we have seamless lines and there are no gaps in spaces. And really press that in there. And depending how far you want to take this in is how smoky it's going to look. So if you take it all the way into the inner tear duct, it's going to look extremely smoky, but if you stop before that, it's not going to look as smoky. So now I'm going back in with the Urban Decay pencil brush, and I'm mixing together the shade Hipster by Makeup Geek and Mocha by Makeup Geek. And I'm just really buffing out that lower lash line, and this will really open the eyes. Now I'm going in with a new Makeup Geek bronzer, and this is in the shade Bad Habit. It's the perfect brown for my skin. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's super creamy, super blendable. I really highly recommend these. This is the only one I own, but I definitely want to pick up a couple different shades that she has and kind of play around with them. They're beautiful. If you do a lot of freelance work, they'd be really great to put along in your kit. I think they're only like $10 a pan, which is incredible. Now I'm just bronzing my cheekbones, taking it down my neck, making sure I put it on my forehead. You don't want to bronze just one area, you want to bronze multiple. Then I was feeling super pale, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to bronze my chest too. So bronze whatever you want to bronze. And I'm just using an e.l.f. powder brush for that. Grabbing another e.l.f. powder brush in a Makeup Geek blush, I used the shade Spellbound. I will leave the blush listed down below. I'm pretty sure that was the one now. I am coating my lashes with Loreal Voluminous mascara, and I did apply false lashes off camera. Now I'm highlighting my brow bone with MAC Nylon eyeshadow, and I'm just using an Urban Decay brush for this. You can use any brush that you feel comfortable with. Really highlighting the brow bone will also help lift the eye and make it appear larger. So when you do a dark smoky eye, I always recommend highlighting the brow bone because it makes a big difference. And if you just place it on the high point of your brow, that will make a difference too. Now I'm also taking that same MAC Nylon and I'm placing it on my inner corner too. I really wanted that dark smoky eye with that satin finish from the MAC Nylon. Now I'm going in with the Mercier translucent powder, and I'm taking another e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm baking my face. I don't leave it on too long because I do have dry skin, so if I leave it on really, really long, my skin looks too flat. So I just like to apply a large concentrated amount of it, and then I go in and I dust it off just a second later. Baking your face really makes everything look very airbrushed, very soft, very finished. I really like this method. I like doing it with a brush versus a sponge though. Of course, I have to sing it out. Now we are going to do our lips. I'm applying Gerard Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Buttercup, it's either Buttercup or Buttercream. No, it's Buttercup. And then I'm applying the Buxom full-on lip cream in the shade White Russian. These are my favorite lip glosses. They look so wet, so shiny. I love them. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.